How's it going there, everyone? Long time no gardening show. This light is a bit shiny on me here at the moment. So hope you're all keeping well out there and safe. If you see my thing, give us a wave there and let us know where you're maybe tuning in from, and you want to let us know what you're doing in the garden there. It's a while since we've been on here on our Wednesday night slot. To be honest, we've just been flat out busy, and I suppose during the summertime, you were all probably like ourselves, flat out in the garden, and then it was 10, 11 o'clock when we were coming in, and I'd love to see some pictures of your success stories from the growing season. It'd be great to see how you've all got on, and we're going into that autumny stage now where it's absolutely, I love this time of year. It's probably one of my favorite because the colors is amazing. The color is amazing, and I like the process of the autumn going into the winter and then looking forward to the spring again. But I love this time of year. Obviously, it's time gathering up the leaves, compost, and tidying up, and you're going into, you feel you're growing stuff when you shouldn't technically be growing them. So it's a lovely time of year. But definitely, composting is something that's high on my radar at the moment. So this evening I was going to talk about microgreens. I don't know, hands up, anyone give it a wave or thumb up if you grow microgreens, or if you know what microgreens is all about, or have you ever grown them, and how successfully were you growing them? Because I suppose back years ago, I probably don't. Hope you could actually, I managed to give me headphones. Sorry. I hope you God could hear me there. Sorry if you couldn't, my apologies. I hope you could give me a thumbs up if you can hear me there on either or. But yeah, I suppose years ago we bought all the fancy gadgets and everything else for growing microgreens, and we brought the soil into the house, and it was great until it was on the ground, and it was just for me personally, it was just thank you very much, Eileen. So for me, I suppose growing microgreens was problematic at the start. There was no question about it, and we started doing the sprouts and everything else. And again, we bought all the jars, and you go to a show and you buy more jars, and show was great. But so I just had enough for a while, and then I discovered these soilless kits, and they changed everything. It just made, there was no soil coming in the house, so my wife wasn't giving out to him anymore, so there was no soil to be brought in. So basically, they're grown on a grow mat, and what you do with these is, what I do with them, I mix some liquid seaweed into a spray bottle, or if you're lucky enough to have the emerald mist, you can use that as well. And what I do is spray the mat, that it's really, really, really not soaking wet, but just sponge-like wet, right front and back. And there's no really front and back to these, you can put them on either way, but get them that they're nice and wet, and that it fits in perfectly. And then all you're doing next is you're adding your seeds. Now, with the mats, it's very important when you have the mats that you put plenty of seeds on them, because don't be skimpy with the seeds, because they will grow up around each other. And I think that's one of the common problems people do find with when growing, especially with the mats anyway, that they're not putting in enough seeds, and they're not keeping them in darkness for long enough. So some of the seeds, they say to soak them overnight. Now, the bigger the seeds, now these are Fine Leaves Crest. They're absolutely beautiful one. There's a little bite to it. And then I have some broccoli as well. The broccoli don't necessarily have to be soaked overnight or soaked for a few hours, but they say the Fine Leaf Crest ones do. But I don't tend to soak them anymore, because they kind of, when you soak, especially the Fine Leaf Crest ones, they kind of nearly blend together to go kind of gooish, even though it's no harm whatsoever, but they do go gooish. So what I do is then I place them out the tray nice and evenly. I'm not doing this one because I've loads of them growing at the moment. So even them out, even with your hand, just get it in, even them out. And then the whole thing is I cover with tin foil or cover with something to keep out the daylight. It's very important. And this is for probably the first 5 or 6 days plus. And then every second day or every day, just give it a little spray. Now, you don't have to soak them, but just enough to keep the seeds nice and wet. Give them a spray, and that'll keep everything together. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. They do stick together, and that's exactly it. And they are difficult to spread, and that's exactly what it is. Thanks so much. So, and then after 5, 6 days, then you can take off the cover, and then after 10, these are done now, probably 10 days. Susan, yeah, that's a seed mat. So these are the microgreens then after they're growing probably 10, 12 days. And you can actually yeah, sorry, you can actually see the way they're bending over. They were actually on the windowsill in the kitchen, and they were leaning towards the light. If you can see them all going this way, it's cool, isn't it? They're all growing. They're all going out to the light, so that's brilliant. So they're the broccoli ones, and you can see you can see the root system on them. It's quite amazing. So that's your microgreens, and you can see the roots coming through them. And what you can do then, what I like about doing them this way, what I often do is I would take them out, put them on a plate in the middle of the table, and then what I will do is start another seed tray in between. But like that seed tray now, it's a medium-sized seed tray, but that will keep like the 3 of us going here in the house for weeks. Oh yeah, probably Francis, remove the foil. So someone's asking there when to remove the foil. I normally when you start to see the foil being pushed up, the microgreens will be craving to get daylight, the seed. So when they start pushing up the tin foil, you know, then you'll be taken off. And generally, I took them off when they were just a little bit yellowish. They were still yellow because they were young seeds. And then once the daylight gets them to start, the photosynthesis start. And it's a beautiful thing to watch as well, because I suppose I like these because you can watch the whole process, and you can really watch nearly hour by hour how they green up. And it's a fabulous thing to do. And I think anyone even like, and these are the crest ones I was talking about. Like they're just beautiful. Whoops. Yeah. So only on the video. So that's the crest one there. So it is if it didn't fall on top of the thing. So again, you can see like that one there, that mat there is probably a little bit too wet because I ran it under the tap. They were sitting on the windowsill, but you can see the length of the seeds. So then all you're doing, basically you're cutting them off to that size there, and they're just that crest has just a lovely little bite to it. They're like they're just a lovely bite to it. I can't just think the other white stuff you get on the horseradish. It's lovely with eggs, absolutely. It's beautiful. And they're the broccoli, like they're the broccoli. And believe it or not, they do contain up to 10 times more nutrients and plus than fully grown vegetables. So like they are the perfect thing to be growing this time of year. And the broccoli, the flavor on the broccoli, it actually does taste like raw broccoli, basically. It is really, really delicious. So it is the easiest way. And then the mats are fully compostable, so you can put them into your compost bins. You can rip them up. What I do with them, I'm finished. Well, I'll tell you what I do with them actually. We have chickens down there, so we have them cut. I just drop down the mat to the chickens. The chickens pick out the rest of the little anything that's left over, and then I just rip up the mat and I put it into my compost bin or my I put it in around my plants, and it's brilliant, really good for putting around the plants. Just a bit of moisture, and it just stops, it holds the moisture around your plant a bit better. So definitely, I would recommend, if you can, start growing the microgreens. They are a super, super one. And if any of you are interested, send me your email there and I'll send you on some information, because we're planning on doing a little mini microgreen course, you might want to call it, where you will week by week we'll start off, you know, getting the mats ready, getting the seeds on, covered, bring it step by step, because, and then after, you know, week 2, then you're going on to your second batch of seeds again, and watching them grow, because it is a fabulous thing to be growing. My computer now is all covered in little. So look, if you have any questions, just drop us a line there, because we love we love getting questions in, because and we're going to do this again now. So I was just timing. My daughter goes to I had to bring my daughter to ballet on a Thursday night, or a Wednesday night, sorry, and then she has drama on a Thursday. So I was just timing it today to see what time I can get back to start up the live weekly videos on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm going to be trying to hit for 8 o'clock maybe from here on in, and maybe bring on a guest or two to help out, you know, bring on a guest that, you know, so if anyone's out there and you want to come on a call some night and just discuss some things about gardening, how you're getting on with your gardening, your garden experience, because we're all here to help each other. And I think that that's very important, because, you know, I think as gardeners we are the composting. Oh yeah, there's a weekend course, I'd love it. Yeah, we might look at something this weekend. Just my hobby levels are quite high, so I'd be kind of gone most weekend doing something. So it's weekend, but no, we definitely maybe try and do something over a weekend. Maybe arrange for a weekend. If that's the consensus, we can do something on a Saturday, do a half day on a Saturday. Would that suit you? If it does, no problem at all, and let us know. We'll definitely arrange something, because there's definitely it's something that's a great interest in, anyways. So please, yeah, some more information. Perfect, Susan. I will definitely drop you an email after that. And if there's anything else, just shoot us a line. But I'd say I'd love to be able to let you taste them, but you just have to grow them yourself, and that's the key. And other ones as well, like we have peas, we have the pea shoots as well. And look at, I know you can go and you can buy pea shoots and Marifat peas and sprout them, but they're like, all our seeds are all organic and they're certified. You go into a shop and you're buying certain seeds and you're never 100% sure where they came from. So look, for me, it's important. Other people, it maybe not as important, but, you know, I always say, look, if you can get, or no matter where you're buying them, you know, I think it is important to keep them organic and to know where you're getting them anyways. So that's what it's all about with the microgreens anyways. And it is, look, at just about enjoying them and watching them grow, because I know even I customers last year, and customers that buy them off regularly, who at one point, no more than myself, suffer from mental health, and to really find that watching the whole process, they're not into gardening at all, just love growing microgreens, and they love watching the whole process of the seed germinating, the photosynthesis taking place, and then having a product in the middle of their kitchen table that they're able to eat. So it's a fabulous thing to do. So, and so I suppose other than that, what's going on in the garden at the moment, I have, the tunnel is abundant at the moment. It's absolutely chockers. I've still a ton of tomatoes out there. I'm putting up a sign next year. I'm not taking in any rescued tomato plants, because I have one small tunnel there, or greenhouse, that was meant to have for my chilies, and it got taken over by tomatoes. So I'm going to reduce down my tomato growing next year. Chard, if you want to grow something, you know, chard is brilliant. Perpetual chard is absolutely amazing. You put in, you'll still sprout it. You'll probably still get some sprouting broccoli in. Beetroot, I have beetroot coming on and trays now. It's ready to transplant into the tunnel. And what I plan to do, and I will do a video on what I'm planning on doing with the tunnel, is obviously getting some of that, a roll of that netting, and it's just a cover. You know, that name won't come to me now, but it's that white cover. It will come to me, and it just to protect it, so just to keep in the heat. And a few tips, I will be giving tips during the week if you have a tunnel and a greenhouse, because we are coming into we're coming into the colder season, and a few ideas as well for your tunnel. If you bring in, what I'm going to do, I'm bringing in a wheelie bin of water, and I'm filling up the wheelie bin. And what I'm planning for that is what I've done before. It is when the heat of the day, regardless, it'll heat up the water a certain amount in the wheelie bin of water. And what it'll do is it'll just keep a nicer temperature in your tunnel. And also, if you bring in some, blocks or rocks and put them around your beds and stuff like that, because the heat of the day, because even on a frosty morning, you could, a good day after, you could get 10, 12, 13 degrees. And inside in the tunnel, it could be 16, 70 degrees. So if you've something in there that can absorb the heat, like a stones, blocks, stuff like that, buckets of water, they will absorb the heat in, and then later on in the evening they'll start releasing it back out. So just little tips like that might, help stuff grow a little bit better during the winter. So that's really it. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you all. We'll see you all next week also. Black containers of water also holds heat longer. Absolutely, that's the black wheelie bin is going to hopefully do the job. And it's all about trial and error. So hopefully I'm going to get a guest for next week, and we'll do a little bit of a chit chat next week on the thing, and if you can round up some of the usual suspects for a live video. And I say, in the meanwhile, if there's anything we can do for you here, just send us email or just send us a private message or whatever. And that's really it. Something else in my head I was going to say, but that's it. So stay safe out there and take care, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.